Uh,
Hmm.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JD, founder of the Veteran Network. Tonight, we've got some team training for the Veteran Network going on. As you're joining us, just go ahead and hit us up in the chat and let us know that you are here. Again, I am JD, and I put together the Veteran Network initially to kind of get the military and veteran community together to kind of help you get started on the right path, to whether you're transitioning out of the military or you've been out of the military for like 80 years like I have. So that takes a little while, but we want to kind of help you get your business skills out of the way and onto you so that you can start making money online. And that's what the Veteran Network is all about, is helping everybody that we can make money online. And tonight, for the Veteran Network, we've got Adam Bird with us, and who is a United States Army veteran, and we also have Jamie Nevison. Help me out here, Jamie.
Magnuson.
Nivison, thank you. Nivison. Jamie, that's it. Okay. Who is also a United States Army veteran and a nurse. But she can't give any advice to anybody that's not in Arizona. So I know this. Okay, now tonight we're going to cover a few things. We're going to cover a little bit about how to get some traffic by telling your story, and but before we do that portion, we're gonna have Adam, who is also the founder of the Heroes Media Group and has been doing online radio forever now. Tell us a little bit about how to get your podcast up and started for either free or affordable. And so we're going to go ahead and have Adam kick off with that. Adam, Mr. Adam Bird, are you there?
I am, Jeff. Thank you.
And how's your day going, buddy?
It's going. It's still a little hot here. I'm definitely ready for the winter months.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking it, man. I'm liking this because every time I get tired of the heat, I think that my family just had 30 feet of snow this past winter, so I'm not feeling too bad.
Well, you're a sick individual. With that being said,
nothing to do with the weather.
So I'm going to talk a little bit. Jeff wanted me to talk a little bit about podcasts tonight, and how people could do that. And those of you that are watching and listening to this, just a brief background about me. I co-founded an organization called Vets on Media about 3.5 years ago, and that's since we shut that down. And I recently founded an organization called the Heroes Media Group. And what that is it's a network of people that want to do shows or that have shows, and I created a platform for these people to do the shows. And your shows can range from a lot of different things. So we're going to jump right into it right now. And the first thing that you want to do, if you're thinking about doing some type of a show or some type of a podcast, the first thing that you want to do is have an idea of what that show or what it is that you want to talk about. Come up with a show name. Create a logo for it. And before you even do that, sit back and think about what it is that you would talk about. How long would your show be? Okay? What are the topics that you want to cover? And if you're doing this for your business, then base it around your business. And let me give you an example. I have a show that's getting ready to launch that's on mortgages. And it teaches people the different sides of how to purchase a home. But they bring in guests for I can't get a house because my credit sucks or whatever. So they have a section on how to build your credit. They'll have a section on what to look for when you're purchasing a home, how to get a lower interest rate, so on and so forth. So if you're doing it for your business, blueprint it out on what you want to talk about. And for a lot of rookies that want to get started, I suggest to them is do no more than an hour show when you're starting. And have a lot of content. Let me say that again because this is very important. And if you're taking notes, I want you to write this down. Content, content, content. You can never have too much content. And when you're doing a show, let's say you have a list of things that you want to cover for your show that evening. In case in point, Jeff and I do a show on Wednesday, or we record our show on Wednesdays, and usually by Wednesday night or early Thursday morning, our show is out. You can listen to that show called The Decision Hour at theheroesmediagroup.com by clicking on The Decision Hour. And when we do our show, we usually have several things that we want to cover, and we don't always get through everything, and that's okay because that means we have content for the next show or what have you. So make sure that your show is enriched with content. Now, a lot of people ask, okay, great, I have an idea for a show, I know what I want to talk about. What do I need to get started? And that's a good question. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you have a really good computer. Jeff, are you going to write these down? Okay, good. So Jeff is going to write these down for me. So the first thing you want to do is you want to have a good quality computer. I am very fond of the iMacs from Apple. Their audio and video quality are top-notch. But if you can't afford that, then PCs will work just fine as well. So first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you have a good computer. The second thing that you want to do is there's some free programs out there that you can use to record your podcasts. One of them is called Audacity. If you're using a Mac, you can use GarageBand, which is a great program. And probably the best one that's out there is Adobe Audition. Now, the Adobe one actually costs money. That's with because Adobe, I think up about a year ago, they started charging a monthly fee. So if you get like the whole Adobe package, which I think is about $75 a month, you get like the Audition, the Photoshop, and everything like that. It's actually a really good deal. So if you could swing the $75 a month, I would highly, highly recommend the Adobe platform. So now you have a program in there. The next thing that you want to do is you want to have a good microphone. Now, there's two different ways that you can do this. The first way I'm going to talk about is through a USB mic, which is a microphone that you can hook up right into your computer. And this is if you're right, just like that, like what Jeff's got there. That hooks up into your computer, and you can take that pretty much anywhere. The sound quality on those, not bad. They're pretty well. I personally haven't used one. I've used one once. I don't use those for my show. I use a mixer, which I'll get into here in a minute. But you want to use a USB mic that plugs right into your computer, and then you can run the programs right through your computer. The second one, and this is the one that what I like, it's what we use on the network and through the groups and all the shows that I run, is a oh wow, I just lost my train of thought now. It's a condenser mic, excuse me. A condenser mic. A condenser mic basically is has like the little 3 prongs on it, and you plug that into a mixer. And I'll get to that in a second. So a condenser mic, great sound quality. It's what the pros use. It's what you see on the TV and whatnot. Are those condenser mics? The next thing you want to get is a soundboard or a mixer. And the mixers that I like are the Mackie mixers. You can, whatever you prefer, you can look it up. I'm very fond of the Mackies. We use the Pro F X8 and the Pro FX12 in studio, and the Pro FX8 we use for our mobile unit when we're traveling around and doing remote broadcasts. And the reason why you want to do a mixer is because you can do more stuff. It's easier to control the sound quality in and out. You have different channels, so you can control each channel. And this is just my personal preference, but using a mixer, the sound quality just sounds better. And with the microphones and the mixer, all of these things can be found at your local Guitar Center. They love me down there. So, and a lot of this stuff here you can get. I would say if you do 2 microphones, an FX8 mixer, which is an 8-channel mixer, with the cords and everything to plug into your computer, you could do, realistically, you could do all of this stuff for under $500. Okay. The other thing I like about the mixers is that it's easier to use, like Skype. You can Skype people in, and you can put that Skype channel, or excuse me, you can put that Skype caller right into one of the channels. Now this is getting a little more advanced. I'm not going to get in too much detail as far as the Skype stuff moving forward here, but this is just kind of the basic stuff of what you need. Okay. The other thing that you want to do is, now you do a show. And when you're doing a show, you want to make sure that you're covering your content, like as we talked about before. Content, content, content. Make it educational, make it fun, and get your point across of what it is you want to do. Now, the other thing you want to do is, what do you do after you record your show? Now you have this show, and you're ready to blast it out to the world. How do you do that? What's the best way to do that? And what I would suggest doing is, first off, iTunes is key. Get an iTunes account. If you don't have an iTunes account, before this video is over with tonight, you should have one. Create one. The only problem with iTunes is that you can't track how many downloads you have. So what you do then is you get a third party, like a Podbean is the one that I use with all of my shows. You also have Stitcher Radio. There's a bunch of them out there, and you can look them up. Podbean is in the top 8. It's also the most cost-effective one, and you get a lot of perks to it. Podbean will create your shows. If you have a logo for your show, they even create a phone app for your show through there, and you can get an unlimited audio for like $10 a month under Podbean. And the nice thing about it is when you load your show into Podbean, it will automatically upload into your iTunes account. Double whammy right there. So, and then you can take that link, or both of those links, and send them out to your contacts. And I think I can see that we're coming down to my time's almost up here, but I think this is a great starting point for those of you that are wanting to start your own podcast. Now, the other thing that I'd strongly encourage is if you have the money to do it, create or with an organization such as the Heroes Media Group, where we have a large network that helps get your show out to the masses. It's not easy to get your show out there, do it by yourself. So we always recommend involved with a network of some sort that they will help you put your show out to the masses. And I think that's it for now. If anybody has any questions, feel free to email me at adam@milmcs.com. And I appreciate your guys' time. I hope this was educational and beneficial for you all. And I look forward to hearing from you all very soon.
All right, thanks, Adam. Just to kind of go over a little bit about what you should have been writing down that Adam taught. Some of the things that you're going to need: good quality computer, free recording programs. You can use Audacity, or if you got the Mac like we do for the studio, you can use GarageBand. But we also use we started with GarageBand. But once we started making some money, we then switched over to Adobe Auditions, which is far and away the best program out there that actually runs about $75 a month. Need a good microphone. You can get a USB microphone, just like the one that I'm talking to you on right now. This little thing right here costs $17 from Fry's Electronics. And it works good enough if you're not looking for the best quality, the actual studio equipment type quality. That's perfect. That's all you need. So that's a USB microphone. It connects right into your computer, your USB ports. A condenser microphone, or more of the professional ones like you see us with. If you see my pictures that we've taken from being on the show and whatnot, those are condenser microphones. Okay. Soundboard mixer. We roll with Mackie. It's top quality. It's like an 8-channel mixer or something like that. And you can do a lot more stuff. You can bring in Skype as well when you use the mixer. It makes it a lot easier, and the quality is a lot better. The show content, make sure that it's educational. Make sure that you're teaching something. That means that whatever it is that you're teaching, when somebody comes to your podcast, they need to leave with information that they can take right now and implement it, just like we just went over. They can take this information right now and set up their podcast today. Okay. After your show is done, you want to set up an iTunes account. Again, if you don't have one, you need to set one up as soon as possible. Podbean.com is where you can actually see our shows. That's actually probably one of the best places on the internet to host your shows. Plus, Podbean is integrated into iTunes, or integrated with iTunes. So as soon as we download our show on Podbean, usually within 24 hours, it's then on iTunes. Plus, Podbean gives you the opportunity to see how many downloads. Just for an example, in the last month, I think, Adam, you said our show was downloaded pretty close to like 2,000 times, which is amazing to me. That's a pretty good goal to hit. And then Stitcher. Stitcher is another one that a lot of people use. I know some of our top earners, like Lawrence Tam, he's got a show called Project Mayhem, and it's on Stitcher. He actually hasn't done a show in a while. I just talked to him the other day. He said he's going to get back doing it because it's an excellent resource for people to actually find your information under. A lot of people, the reason why podcasts are important is because people are very time sensitive. So if they don't think they have enough time to do something, they're just not going to do it. So if you can show them that, while they're driving to work, or like Jamie, who drives 250 miles a day being a nurse, pop on podcasts and go ahead and listen and learn while you're driving, while you're getting to your job, whether you're getting to the next patient that you have to see or whatever. So that's why podcasts are important. Everybody does it. Tony Robbins has a podcast. Zig Ziglar had a podcast. You name it. All the top speakers out there that teach and have just an enormous amount of followers have podcasts. Also, if you need somebody to host your show and help to spread the word about your show, Heroes Media Group. Check us out online. So you can actually have a show on the network. We'll host it, we will edit it, we will get it out there and get it in front of people for you. Just get in touch with Adam at milmcs.com. I think that's about it. I'm a pretty good note taker, so hopefully I got everything. If you miss anything, go ahead and go back in the video, We are recording this, so you can go back into the video and get that done. Now, with that being said, Ms. Jamie Nivison down there in Tucson, Arizona, our Army veteran, fellow Army veteran, and current nurse that's about to be a nurse for the VA. So, and we need you at the VA, so thank you very, very much. Jamie, we're going to go ahead and take it over. You're going to actually discuss a little bit about the key importance of why you need to tell your story and how to do it. And I might jump back in here shortly. I'm also going to jump in just as soon as you're done to go over a few more things. I've got some tips for free advertising on Instagram and how to get traffic and whatnot. So we're going to cover that here in a little bit. So Jamie, it's all you.
Thanks. Thank you very much. So I'm going to start off by saying I've never done anything like this before. So if I stumble a little bit, I'm sorry. But some things that I've learned actually a lot from you, Jeff, is how important your story is, and the reason why is because you need to be able to relate to other people, other audiences, and show them how you've overcome and what you've done to get there. So the basics of telling a good story is, you know, opening up and saying, you know, this is me, this is who I am, this is how I got here, and you basically just want to make sure that you're grabbing their attention right away, and so that they will want to actually continue listening to you. That's kind of a big deal. What?
I'm going to interrupt you real quick, Jamie, because I want you really quick to tell your story about why you got started in this business. Just give me like the Cliff Notes version, and they can read the rest on your blog.
Okay, so I am a mom of 3, and I got married when I was like 22. I'd been married for 14 years. In 2014, on my 14th year anniversary, I found out that my husband at the time was having an affair with someone else that he worked with. Needless to say, it didn't end well, and promptly got divorced. But going through that process was it's tough. It's still tough sometimes. It's not as bad as it used to be, but you know, just emotionally and financially, it was just hard all the way around, and really started from the bottom. Like, it completely annihilated me, which actually was a good thing because I was able to build back up the way I wanted to. And as fate would have it, I actually was enrolling to take some classes to further my education when all of this went down, and I met Jeff. And I actually had started talking to him before I found out, and then I found out about the affair, and I actually tried to tell him, now is not a good time for me to do this, you know, yada, 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 and he wouldn't hear it. So Jeff's kind of stubborn like that. But so yeah, so, you know, anyway, I developed this relationship with Jeff, and actually Jeff told me his story. And it kind of opened up that doorway to allow me to share mine in little bits and increments because, you know, admittedly, sharing my story does not come easily to me. I'm a very private person. But by doing that, it actually helped my process a lot. And it took some time before he introduced me to Empower and blogging and this whole thing. And, you know, but it's once he did, I was able to really realize that, you know, A, I'm not alone, B, there are other people that'll support me, you know, and I can actually recreate myself and help other people do the same thing that are coming up right behind me, and learn from other people who are further along in their journey than I am. So I know you said you wanted the cliff notes. I'm sorry, but that's really how I
That's
ended
really
up
how
here.
I ended up here.
No, that's awesome, and I want to thank you before you move forward. I want to thank you for sharing that, but I also want the audience to know that you have two children as well.
Yes, I do.
So you were, when you were finding out all this, you still had two kids who are going through middle school and whatnot um, that you have to support while you're going through these struggles.
Yes.
And I got to say, you've done one hell of a job. So congratulations. So go ahead and I'll let you continue.
No. Well, and keep in mind too that within what was it, Jeff? Like 6 months, my oldest daughter moved out back to New England to live with family. A week after I found out about the affair, so within 2 weeks I had that. A week after that, I moved into this current house, and then a couple of months after that, my ex-husband and his girlfriend came into my house uninvited and like cleaned me out. And then what was it? About 2 months after that, I got laid off. A month after that, the engine in my car blew. It was just one Greek tragedy after another. And so, oh, and I have a really old cat in this room. She may start crying because every time she comes in from the other room, she gets confused. She has dementia. I don't know. But her name is Stupid. But anyway, and she's 18, so I cut her some slack. Anyway, here. Sorry. All right, Kitty. Shh. She's confused. Anyway, so through that whole process, though, so in telling my story, there's so much to tell. I have to break it down in little bits and pieces, and that's kind of what you did for me too, Jeff. I mean, you didn't tell me the whole thing. Okay, shh. Um, I'm gonna throw something at you. So anyway, this is my life. If it's not the cat, it's the kids. If it's not the kids, it's the dog. So I don't want to tell you. But anyway, Jeff, you didn't give me the whole rundown of everything that makes you you and how you ended up here right from the get-go. It was your storytelling started off with relating to me, going over what your turning point was, how you went through that journey, and how you grabbed all that information and ran with it and showed me how it would be relevant to me, and then built that relationship. So as time went on, more and more of the story came forward, and it just really built some trust, because that's the whole point, is you want to build trust, and you don't want to just walk up to somebody and say, hey, this is my story, this is why this would be awesome for you, and just kind of walk away. I mean, that's not okay. If it were me, I'd be like, okay, that's nice, and have a nice day. um, and the other thing that was really awesome about you is you're very real, and I'd like to think that when I tell my story, I know that I know that I'm real, but I don't know if it comes across that way all the time, because like I said, it's a hard thing for me. I think I'm getting better at it, but the story has to really come from the heart. It has to be real. It can't be, you can't come off as fake. Your journey should not be made up. It shouldn't be exaggerated. I mean, people are going to see through that pretty quickly. And if you're disingenuine, I mean, it's just kind of slimy. So, um, your story, it needs to be true, and really from the heart, and really put forward, how it's possible to be better, and how you can show that person how you can build them back up. He's writing things, and I don't know what he's writing right now. But anyway, um, yes, heart is a very, very big one. Um, the unfortunate thing is that there's every story has a struggle, because you don't just end up looking for something more and something better because everything's going great. Every story, there's a lot of struggle, and unfortunately, people tend to gravitate towards hearing somebody else's pain. Because pain is so relatable because there's so much of it out there, which is sad. But so you want to share your pain, you want to share your struggle, and how hard was it for you to get to that turning point, um, when you get to that turning point, you're like, you know what, this really kind of sucks, and I need to do something about it. For me, it was, when I found out I got cleaned out. I mean, I was really upset about the whole affair thing, of course, but when I found out that he came in uninvited with his girlfriend, um, I was angry, of course, but then that just it was a turning point for me as far as getting over it because I was like, you know what, I am better off without him because anybody that plays that dirty, I don't have room for in my life, and I pretty much was done at that point. I was not over it. I was just more angry than I was anything else. But it was a turning point for me. It definitely was. That was actually a good thing that he did that. So at any rate, that was my turning point, and that's when I said, you know what, I deserve a hell of a lot better than this. And I really started listening to Jeff and what he had to say, and that's when, and that's how I found Empower, and that's how I started my journey, and in Empower and trying to figure it out. So once I get to that point where I can actually start teaching how I, do everything, I'll incorporate that part into my story too. But because it's a process. And I think that's pretty much how I feel about that. What do you think, Jeff?
No, Jamie, I want to thank you for telling your story and pointing out the key parts. Um, as you were saying, your story is also somebody else's story, and that's why we tell them. Okay? Jamie, unfortunately, is not the first wife to be cheated on. She's not the first mom to be cheated on. And unfortunately, a lot of the individuals, and this can go for guys too, not the first spouse to be cheated on. A lot of those individuals are told during this experience, and I've been down this road too. I've been divorced myself. So they're told that they're worthless. They're told that they're not going to amount to anything. And Jamie, I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but when Jamie first started telling her blog, her ex found out and did exactly that. He went in there and told her that she's never going to do anything. And I hope, yeah, exactly. And I hope my goal for Jamie is to become a leader, not just on this team, but in Empower Network, so that you can stand on that stage, both of you, Adam and Jamie and anybody else that's listening here, and tell your story and be able to just bask in your success. And I'm not just talking about a monetary value. I'm talking about you can bask in the success of having your story reach out to dozens, hundreds, thousands of people out there that have gone through the same thing. Okay? That's why we tell this story. Look, I was just like you at this point in my life. And instead of believing everything that everybody was saying and all the bad people in your life are saying, you said, you know what, the hell with them. I'm going to get this life for me, for my children. I'm going to make it work no matter what. That's it, period. And that's the way it needs to be. Every time you wake up in the morning, you need to tell yourself, regardless of what you have going on for that day, you are going to be successful, and whatever it is that you need to do that day, you are going to get it done. Again, no excuses. That's it, period. Okay? Because it doesn't matter what your story is, because I guarantee, even if you're new to this team, you tell me what your story is, and I can point out 50 other people in Empower Network who have the exact same story, or as close to the exact same story, and are going on to build the better lives for themselves and their family. Okay? That's why we tell our story. It is that important. And again, when you tell your story, you tell it from the heart. All right? You don't think, you don't tell people maybe this is what they want to hear. Okay? You already know what they need to hear because these are the same things that you need to hear yourself. Okay? You are your perfect niche. All right? So when you go ahead and you sit down to write your story and you decide to reach out to help others that are just like you, come from the heart and just tell it. And I got to give props. I know Jamie just dropped off. I'm hoping she'll come back on here in a second. But I got to give props to both Jamie and Adam because I'll be honest with you. I told them they would be speaking tonight. And both of them kind of gave me a little bit of shit about it because they never did it before. And I got to tell you, they did a hell of a job. So, I mean, if you're following along with this, make sure that you go ahead and you tell them in the chat or you tell them on our team page that they did an absolutely phenomenal job because they both did. So if there's anything that you guys want to know about telling a story or how to get your own podcast to, again, and the podcast is another way to tell your story. Okay, it's a way to sell your products. It's a way to tell your story. It's a way to attract your target market to you. And a lot of it can be done extremely affordably, if not free. As if you didn't see the notes on the podcast, go back into the video in the first 15 minutes and rewatch that part. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a few tips on Instagram and what I do to attract followers and gain leads. And if you give me 1 second, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my Instagram file. My Instagram, let me see here, Instagram, and I'm gonna pull up 2 tools that I use for my Instagrams that I send out to help other people. Actually, there's like 3, but the third one can be just Googled because there's many of them to use. So give me 1 second because I'm going to share my screen here in just a second. And I'm actually going to walk you through actually doing one of these for Instagram. One of the reasons that you want to use Instagram, because it's free. All right? Not everybody starting out a business has, money to, has, $100, has $500, has $1,000, has $3,500 to $4,000 to actually get the products that we offer to learn from them. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you a couple of things that I've learned from the products as I've got them all, and they're all awesome, and I've learned from them all, which is why I feel that I have what it takes to lead this team. So give me 1 second. Canva is up, and then let's go with positive quotes. I'm actually gonna build an Instagram post here in just a second, right in front of you. Okay. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's see, share screen, screen share. We're going to do desktop, start screen share. And after you do the whole Star Trek thing. All right, can you guys see my screen? Excellent. Okay, good. All right. Shut up, Adam. Love you, man. All right, now. All right. Adam, let me know if you can see this in the chat. You can see it. Okay, good. All right, so what we're going to do, first, let me go to my Instagram page. Now, my Instagram page, there's Janine, who's also a member of the Veteran Network. I started this about like a month ago. I want to say a little over a month ago, and I'm already up to almost 1,800 followers. Just like doing a podcast or doing a blog or whatever the case may be, posting on Instagram is the key to posting on Instagram is consistency. Okay, you have to be consistent. Now, all of these posts, these first 3 posts here, are all in the last week. I have slacked off just a little bit. I used to do one a day, and I'm going to go back to doing one a day too, because now that I'm seeing the results, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up to do 2 a day, one in the morning and one in the evening, which is actually what started getting my results for me. So this is my Instagram page, JD the Veteran Entrepreneur. And I'm going to show you 2 things that I use to create these. Okay, so all these pictures with the sayings on them and whatnot, there's 2 tools that I use to be able to do these. Okay, and they're free. All right, so let's do, one is Morguefile. I'm going to go ahead and put this in chat, morguefile.com. And then the other is canva.com. And that's how I create my Instagrams. I'm actually going to do one. We're going to do one right now. I need a picture. Since I know I want to do a positive quote, I need something that's positive. And to me, a sunrise to me is always positive, because that's when, you know, it's a new day, it's a new beginning. So no matter what happened yesterday, it has no effect on what you're going to do today. So that's why I love doing sunrises. Okay, so let's say, scrolling down, and all of these are free. You actually can do these for paid. I always keep mine on free. I've never done a paid one. Okay, so you want to make sure that they're free. And I'm scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down. This could be a sunrise. Actually, let me look some. Aha, see, this is a sunrise. You can always tell how bright it is. All right, so, and then I'll click download, and again, it's free. And that popped up here. Now that goes to my computer, okay, into my download section. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Canva. Now Canva is really cool, canva.com. Canva can be used with any social media out there. You can do Instagram, you can do a presentation. Now presentations can be for actual presentations, but those are also great for your blog, because that's the size that you want for your picture for your blog. Okay, is a presentation one. It's got Facebook cover. I've used this for Facebook cover. Social media can be a little bit of anything. Instagram's usually pretty good with that as well, but this one for social media is more like a Facebook post or for like Twitter. Okay, and then there's another one that they have specially made for a Facebook post. This works out as well, but it doesn't come in as nicely as a Facebook post. And then you can do a poster for your business, and then they have some other options which are paid. So let's say for this one, since I'm going to do a positive quote for my Instagram, I'm going to go over here to Instagram, I'm going to click on it. And Instagram has their own that are built in too. They've got their own that say free, but then if you continue to scroll down, eventually, depending on what it is, you'll see that it costs money. Like this one. This one actually costs money, and usually they're only like $1. So if you find something that you really want to post, then you can have it for $1. But they do have some free ones, and then I'm also going to show you how to create your own free ones. So we're going to go upload, upload your images. And again, I already have it in my downloads. There's the picture, San Diego Harbor, however you guys out here say it. And it downloads over here. You just double click on it, and it'll show up here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it to fit. Boom. Boom. See, that's a nice picture right there. And then I'm going to put my positive quote right here. So give me 1 second. Let me go. Let's find a positive quote. All I did was go ahead and just search positive quotes. And then, you know, this one's got Mark Twain on it. Mark Twain, of course, is Samuel Clemens, and a lot of people don't know this part of my background, my history, as found out by my sister, because I was adopted and we were split up, so we did some background check, and it turns out that Samuel Clemens is actually my great uncle. So that's why anytime I see anything by Mark Twain, I'm always interested in it. So I'll click on Mark Twain, and then I'll come down to some of his quotes. Now, for something for Instagram, you want to make sure that you have something that's kind of short, okay? And let's see here. Let me see here. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Yeah, I like that one, but let's see what else is here. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. All you need is this life. In this life is ignorance and confidence, and then success is sure. And you know, in our field, because we want to talk about the success that people have, I like that one. Okay. So what I will do now is I'll go ahead and I will bring up my Canva design. Okay. Let me go back to that. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence. So then what I'll do is I will click on text, and you can do text, so it's all you need in this life. Oops, let me go ahead and just do the rest of these lowercase. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence. FID, excuse my you know, I'm from Boston, but I didn't go to school at Harvard, so give me a second. Confidence and then success is yours. Confidence and then success is yours. Now, I know what you're probably thinking because this looks like crap, but give me 1 second. I will center it. I will move it up. Make sure that sun is in the background, but then it's dark. Okay, we want to be positive. You usually don't do dark colors. So let's see, what's a color that would fit good in here? You think yellow will work? Maybe red. Let's see. How about blue? I like blue. Blue's a good color. My room is painted blue. It's the only house. Yeah, it's the only room in the house that's painted blue. So let's see if I can maybe brighten that up a little bit. There we go. I like that. So all you need in this life is ignorance and confidence. And then I'll go down one more, and I will do Mark Twain. I'll move it up. You always want to put your trademark on it too. And what I mean by that is if you have an Instagram, you want to put your Instagram name under there. So JD the underscore veteran underscore entrepreneur. So that way if they share it or whatnot, because again, you'll have this on Facebook, you have to post it someplace that you can actually get it to. Because unfortunately you can't just share pictures unless you got like Hootsuite. So unless you're actually paying for another service like Hootsuite to actually go ahead and do that, you know what? I kind of like it in yellow because it mixes in with the sun. And it's not interfering really with what's going on. So, and then you can also, pick, what style you want this in, and it's got a lot of great styles. So something from Mark Twain, something about literature. Let's see if this one works. I like that. Confidence and then success is yours. Mark Twain. Outstanding. So looks kind of old school. And then what you do is you just download it. Now sometimes when you download it, if the font's too big or whatever, the words might be put, it may not be in that exact setup. So you might have to tweak it a little bit, which is why, again, and this came out perfect. So, but if it comes out like this might say like Mark and then Twain is over here, but it downloaded exactly the way I wanted it to. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and now that it's downloaded to my computer, I'll go ahead and I'll share it on my fan page. I'll share it on my regular page because I love giving, positive quotes to my friends. So if you're a friend of mine, you've seen this type of stuff. And then what I'll do is I'll get on my phone, I'll log into my Instagram account, and I will share it into Instagram. Now, once you have it on Instagram, there's one key thing. We got about 11 minutes left. I'm going to try and finish up here. There's one key thing that you want to do. Okay, I'm going to go to Google, and I'm going to go to trending hashtags on Instagram today. What's going on today with Instagram? And you can actually, skip out of that. Okay, so if you look at it, there's tons and tons and tons and tons of people on Instagram But every one of these, hashtag love is a community. Hashtag Instagood, which I recently started doing, is in there. Hashtag me. I always do follow me. I do follow. I do me. I don't do me, but you know, I use hashtag me. I use hashtag Instagood. Follow me. There's that one. So I use just in the top 10. I use 4 of them. I might use happy, and you continue to scroll down. Fun, friends, summer, fashion, swag, and it actually shows you how many times this is used on Instagram. Okay. So obviously, hashtag love is a very popular topic. So if you do things that are positive and you do things, for example, for the parents out there, you know, hashtag love. Get into that community. More and more people are saying it, and they will follow you. Okay, they will follow you. One of the things that I started out doing was following everybody that followed me, and then it just blew up. So I got to go back to doing that. I've got thousands of people, you know, about 1,000 people that I got to go back to just following. Um, and make sure that I return, because other people will have programs that if you don't follow them, they won't follow you. And there are programs out there that'll tell them, and they will drop you immediately. Okay? So there's some people out there that'll like your stuff and follow you just to get you to turn around. But then again, that's not a bad service. Like for like is one of those cool things because it attracts attention. I just do it because I'm like, oh, you're nice enough to follow me. You know what? Cool. Let's check out what you got. And then I'll do that. So I got a little bit of catching up to do. So that's what you do. And all I did was Google, you know, trending hashtags. Okay, and let me write that in the note. I'm going to go back and I'm going to get out of screen share. Up screen share so you can look at my beautiful face. I've got the perfect face for radio. So, you know, if you haven't heard me, you know, live yet, then you can listen to me on the radio. Google trending hashtags. And that's how you build your following, and that's a free way to do it. I haven't spent any money on that at all. The only time I really spend money on social media is if I do like a Facebook ad, which is for an entirely different time. We don't have the time to go through all that. If you're on my team and you wanna go ahead and get with me directly, I'll give you some quick hints on it and how to target your niche. But I do want to bring Jamie and Adam back on here real quick to kind of give your thoughts, because again, this is your first team training, and every week I want to get somebody else doing their team training. Okay, so even the new people, I want to get you used to doing this because this is how you're going to get your name out there. YouTube promoting, YouTube advertising is key. If you can get used to doing a 3 or 4 minute lesson on YouTube per day, you will start attracting a lot of attention. And again, the rules go, you know, same thing for your podcast. You got to have good content. Same thing for your blog. You got to have good content. So for 3 or 4 minutes a day, teach us something. It doesn't have to be something in depth. I don't need to learn advanced calculus. I hate math. I'm in my master's course right now, and the only reason I'm still in that course is because there is no math. It's kind of sad. Yes, I picked my major because there was no math. I'm getting my master's in leadership. So I'm not a process person. I'm a people person. That's the way I see myself. Anywho, beard's coming in nicely. I'm going to keep growing it. Everybody keeps asking me, how long are you going to go? This thing's going on forever. All right? I want white streaks all the way down so it's like a reverse skunk that it's on the outside, not the inside. I think that would be pretty cool. All right. All right, so let's start with Jamie. Jamie, come on out. Tell us a little bit about what you thought about your experience here, and when we can start seeing you doing your own YouTube lessons, you know, your little 3 to 4 minute lessons, now that you have the confidence to get out there, because this is going on YouTube. It's recorded on my YouTube channel, and anybody can share it from that point. So I thought you did a great job. Go ahead, Jamie. What did you take away from this?
I realize I need to put the cat in the bathroom, and no, that it's really not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And actually, I did learn a lot from Adam and from you both about Instagram and the podcast, and that actually podcast isn't anything that I ever thought of doing, to be honest with you. So that's something I might think about. As far as a YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't know. I had never thought about that either, so I'm gonna have to come up with a plan and come up with a time frame.
3 to 4 minutes a day. And again, don't forget to get your significant other. And let me tell you guys this, okay? I was talking to Jamie when she hit rock bottom, when all this stuff started happening. I was already in her ear, trying to help her out with trying to motivate her to go to school and move forward. There's a gentleman, I believe, sitting behind her who is also an Army veteran. So a big shout out to Levi, great guy. I'm so happy that you guys are able to get together. And you guys got similar stories too. That's what's crazy. That's the craziest thing in the world. Because we all have crazy exes, even Adam, which he'll come on in a second. I give Adam so much shit about his ex-girlfriends. But I love all you guys. I wouldn't give you guys shit if I didn't love you guys. I am older than both of you considerably.
By two.
2 months. That means that Adam's the youngin in the leadership group, because he's a March guy. He's a March guy. So he's a little bit. It's funny though, because when you tell your story, you attract people that are just like you. We've all been divorced, and we're all around the same age, and we're all Army veterans. I mean, we're proof that your story really does attract people. So I think that's awesome. So yes, Jamie is part of the leadership group, and Adam is also. So it's me right now. Even though we got about 30 people, right now it's just me, Adam, and Jamie as far as the leadership group. So to give them more responsibility, not just to give them more responsibility, but to give them more confidence, anybody on the team can hit us up on Facebook, okay? And we use Facebook, one, because I really don't like talking on the phone. My last job was on the phone. Very rarely. I mean, even when Jamie and Adam call, I'll look at it and then I'll go and I'll message them on Facebook, because I'm just ruined on the phone. I don't even make sales on the phone. I am yet to pick up the phone and make a sale on the phone. Everything that I do is through my advertising and through Facebook and whatnot. But once you're on the team, I will pick up the phone and actually talk to you. That's not a requirement, okay? I've got a few more things to add here real quick, but let's get to Adam. Jamie, thank you very much. You're awesome. Adam Bird, come on out. Let us know what you thought about your first team training with the Veteran Network.
Better answer the phone. No, first team training. It's been a while. Back in a previous life, I was on a podium quite a bit teaching classes. It's kind of nice to. It's a little bit of a different atmosphere doing it this way, but it's nice to be able to contribute. And I've always been one. A little bit about myself. I've always been one. I don't think too highly of myself. I grew up kind of with a low self-esteem, and that's not for anybody to feel sorry for me. I consider myself to be a very humbled individual. And so when Jeff's always harping on me, hey, you got so much you could talk about, I'm more like, what am I gonna say? And I got another friend of mine just the other day was like, yeah, you got nothing to talk about. You learned how to do all this. You learned how to write code for a website. You did this, and this, and you got nothing to talk about. And I was like, all right, I'm picking up your sarcasm. And he said, that's good because I'm laying it on pretty thick. So I'm always willing to help out anybody that wants to learn. If I don't know the answer, I'll be the first to tell you. But I'll help you find the answer to that. I think these team trainings are great. I'm looking forward to definitely doing a little bit more. I think with the podcast stuff, my team training there'll be short videos just to force you to contact me. I'm a people person. I want you to contact me. So my videos, when I start doing them, they're not going to be too incredibly long. You'll get a kind of a teaser piece. So because I want you to reach out to me, I want to have that one-on-one interaction with you, so I can help you get to where it is that you want to go. So Jeff, thanks for putting this together. Jamie, good to see you again tonight, darling. everybody else. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you too. And again, you do look sexy today in that picture. It's one of those morale things. I got to tell them that every day. It helps. Whatever. Look, we've got an event coming up at the Red Rock Resort in Vegas. It's 4 hours away from the Valley. I know it's a much longer trip for a lot of the team around the country. If you can get there, get there. All right. You will have a huge transformation at these events. Whether you're just there for the first 2 days or you're going to try and stay like me for the VIP day, please get there. You can see all my badges for the events that I've been to in the past year. This is actually a VIP one. It was my first time doing VIP, and VIP is awesome because you get to sit up front, you get to get recognized as VIP, and you get a recording of the event, which I still go back to this day to learn more from. So it's absolutely phenomenal. So get to an event. Also, I created a group, and anybody is welcome in the state of Arizona called Entrepreneurs AZ. Not because I'm leaving the Veteran Network, it's because I'm doing an Entrepreneurs AZ group to actually set up an event here in Phoenix on September 19th. All right? And I want people to come out, and then I want people that can teach about what they know for, just like tonight, 15 minutes apiece. Some may be a little bit longer depending on what you want to teach, but if you have some knowledge that can help people out, then you want to be a part of this event. So Entrepreneurs AZ, check them out. And we'll start to get an event together. But the first event is, again, the Rise event in Las Vegas at the Red Rock, the Red Rock Resort, which is just a couple miles from the Strip. I guess, Dave Wood, the last event that we had, which was before the Nashville event that I went to, was also in Vegas. That was at Lake Las Vegas. I guess they stumbled across the Red Rock, or they were told about it. They went and checked it out, and they said it's absolutely gorgeous. We need to have an event here, and that's how they do it. If you're close to Vegas, you want to be there, because I know there's a lot of people that are saying, I might not be able to make this one, but I think I can make the next one. Well, the next one might be in Orlando, and if you're already out here in the West, it's going to be a lot cheaper for you to go to this one, okay? And then still go to Orlando. I'm going to the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. I will not miss an event for the rest of the time that I am part of Empower Network, which is until the day that everybody dies. Because I hope that this organization goes on. Look, people, it all comes down to how bad you want it, okay? If you want success bad enough, you will be at that event. That's it, period. All right, the rooms are $120 a night. If that's too steep, pick 2 or 3 people and split a room. I've done it. The last room that we did, we had 4 people in it. It was 2 beds. 2 beds. So there was only, 2 groups spooning. So look, get with somebody on your team. Get with somebody on the Veteran Network. If you're on another team and you're trying to cut costs, get with people on your team. There are people on your team that want to share the room. All right, it's 8:03. I'm 3 minutes over. Look, guys, love you. I hope you got a lot. Thank you again to Jamie. Thank you again to Adam Bird. And guys, take care. Get to the event. Get to the event. It's in your back office. I'll check you guys later. Have a good night.